Yes, hi, good afternoon to everyone. Please, before that, you guys subscribe my channel. Okay, my channel name is Full Stack Guru, Java Full Stack Guru. My channel name. Okay, once is subscribed, and then after that, you should press on the bell icon. When pressed on the bell icon, you will get a notification when I give update. Okay, please support me. Today we can discuss solid principles. Solid? What? Solid principles. Okay? Solid principles. Today we can discuss what is solid principle. The solid principle is that it elaborate or it is for SRP. SRP nothing but single responsibility. Okay? Principle. Single responsibility principle. What is SRP? It's a single responsibility principle. What does mean? What does mean? That class should have only one responsible. Okay? One class should have only one responsible. That is called single responsible principle. Okay? For example, we created one class, user class, and that user class, it is just how I can say, user class, and that has a getter and setter methods, and the report generation also that contain that user class have some getter and setter method, and you it is generated report method also is contained. Means only one class has a two responsible. It is violated the single responsibility principle. So instead of creating two responsible, you should avoid or you should create different thing, and different way you can increase or you can create them. Okay, one class should have only one responsible called single responsibility principle. What is OCP? O transfer OCP. Okay, S transfer SRP. Thus SRP transfer single responsibility principle. A single responsibility principle is nothing but that class should have only one responsible. One class has only one responsible. Okay, that O for the OCP. OCP means it is the open closed principle. Okay, that entity should be open for extension. That entity class should be open for extension, closed for modification. Okay, when for example we have the rectangular class. Okay, we have the rectangular class, and also we have one more class, area calculator class. Okay, we are using inside that. Okay, instead of using like that, you can create that abstract class. Okay, and you can override them. Okay, like that you can create. Only that class should be extension for modification. Sorry, it open for extension. Whatever it is, that class should extend. It should extend. Okay, extends. But modificationly close them. Okay, extend them, but modification close the modification. That is called OCP. Okay, and L transfer LSP. LSP transfer Liskov substitution principle. That Liskov substitution principle nothing but that object of the superclass should be replaced with object of the subclass without affecting functionality of the For example, we can create that class should be one parent class and one child class. Inside that child class only we should create that object. Okay. Why? Because the child, when created inside the child class, the object should object should it is available both classes, parent class and child class. That's the reason we will create in child class only. Okay. And I transfer SOL is completed, right? It is I transfer, it is ISP transfer, it is interface segregation principle. That interface segregation principle, nothing but it is, instead of using monolith interface, you can break small interfaces and use it. Okay. Instead of using monolith, so many, that interface has a so many abstract method. So it will, burden will happen for that. It become the monolith interface. Instead of creating that many abstract methods, you should create or break them small interfaces and use it. Okay. And use it. Our client should not be forced to implement interface. Okay. They do not use. Okay. That is ISP interface segregation principle. Okay. And D transfer, it is dependency inversion principle. Having high level module should be depends on the low level module. Okay. That both modules should be depend on the abstraction. Have you understand? Abstraction. Okay. Both modules. Okay. What is the solid principles? Do you have any idea on that? Yes. Just now discussed about that, right? It's a solid. This is solid. This principle H transfer SRP, that single principle, single responsible responsibility principle. O transfer OCP, open closure principle. L transfer Liskov LSP, Liskov substitution principle. I transfer interface segregation principle. And D transfer, it is dependency inversion principle. Okay. SRP means its class should be have only one. The class should have only one responsible. Okay. That one class has only one responsibility. And open closure principle means the entity class should have open for extension and closure for modification. Open for extension, closure for modification. And LSP means it is a Liskov substitution principle. That object of the superclass should be replaced with object of the subclass. Okay, without affecting the functionality of the program. Okay, LSP, that and then ISP, interface segregation principle. So instead of using monolith interface, you can break small interface and use it. Dependency inversion control. High level model should not depend on low level model. And both should be depends on the abstraction. Okay, both should be depend on the abstraction. Yes, that simple solid principles. Some of the interviewer will ask you, what is solid principle? Can you elaborate them? Then simply you should say solid principle that contains so many phases. That is S transfer SRP, O transfer OCP, L transfer LSP, I transfer ISP, D transfer DIP. Okay. S transfer single responsibility principle, that class should have only one responsibility. O transfer OCP, that open closure principle, that entity class should have only should have open for extension, closure for modification. And Liskov substitution principle, That Liskov substitution principle means that object of the superclass should be replaced with object of the subclass, or the when creating the object you should create only one inside the child class only. That this uh, this is meaning, actually this meaning is comes under that only, right? That you should create the object in the subclass only, not parent class. Okay, that is LSP. That object of the superclass should be replaced with object of the subclass. Object of the superclass replaced with object of the subclass without affecting existing functionality. Okay, ISP, interface segregation principle. Interface segregation principle means instead of you using monolith interface, you should break in small interface and use it. Okay, and dependency inversion principle. The high level module should be replaced with low level module. Object in the IL, this is object level, this is module level. That's it. LSP is the object level. Object of the superclass should be replaced with object of the subclass, and here high level module should not depend on the low level module. Okay, this is the dependency. That's all about it for the solid principle. Simply you should say like this only, simple and neat. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.